Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're diving into something pretty huge in MMA. Ilia Topuria. I mean, he's not just a champion anymore. He's a historic double champ. Undefeated, undisputed, took out Volkanovski for the featherweight title, then bang, grabs the lightweight belt too.
It's genuinely incredible. Double champ status, especially in those divisions. Featherweight and lightweight are just killers.
Yeah.
That really cements his legacy already. It's so rare.
Absolutely. And, like any dominant champ, the questions start popping up. So the big one for this deep dive is, okay, Ilia's got 2 belts. People are talking pound for pound #1. Who can actually challenge him? Like really challenge him or maybe even beat him?
Right. That's what we're digging into. We're going to unpack 3 potential fights across those 2 weight classes. We've got Paddy Pimblett, Arman Tsarukyan, and of course, Islam Makhachev.
Okay.
And we'll pull out the key insights for you, kind of give you the shortcut to understanding the real threats here.
All right, let's start with the name that always gets people talking, Paddy Pimblett. Now, even with Ilia holding 2 belts, this matchup, it feels like most people see it as a massive mismatch.
Oh, yeah, that's putting it gently. Look, the analysis is pretty clear. Paddy's improved, no doubt, but the skill gap here, it's just immense. Ilia has shown at the very highest level elite timing, that relentless pressure, and just scary knockout power. We've seen it.
We have. Now, some people think of Ilia as just a striker, but what about the ground game? Paddy's known for his BJJ. Any chance that becomes a factor, or is Ilia's ground game kind of underrated?
That's a good point, but Ilia's BJJ is really, really slick, especially defensively. And he's shown he can handle strong guys on the mat.
Okay.
Honestly, with Ilia's pressure, Paddy's defense and his footwork would likely just fall apart pretty quickly. It's doubtful it even hits the ground in a way that favors Paddy.
So him being a champ in 2 divisions now just makes that mismatch even clearer. What's the prediction look like then?
Exactly. Moving up and winning the belt immediately just highlights that gulf in class. The analysis points to, well, Ilia Topuria by KO, probably early. Round 1 feels likely. It just shows the different levels they're operating at.
Okay. From a clear mismatch to something, well, way more interesting and dangerous. Arman Tsarukyan. This feels like a totally different puzzle for Topuria.
Absolutely. A completely different style. Arman is, he's a cardio machine, nonstop. Elite chain wrestling, those super fast scrambles.
Yeah, he never seems to slow down.
Right. Constant movement, explosive takedowns, and his striking defense is actually pretty solid, too. He's built to just push and push.
You mentioned that pace. How does that specifically attack Topuria's potential weak spots? It's more than just cardio, right? What happens if it goes late?
Yeah, excellent question. It's not just about making him tired, though that's part of it. It's about control, accumulating damage, making him work constantly. So look, Ilia's boxing is sharp. He could definitely catch Arman coming in, punish him early. But the real test, the dynamic, is if Arman drags this into round 3, 4, maybe even 5.
Like deep waters.
Exactly. Arman's style is like tailor-made to wear down a striker's takedown defense, sap their energy, make them hesitant. If Ilia doesn't land something big early, Arman has the tools to just outwork him, grind him down.
So a path to victory for Arman exists if he can weather that early storm. What's the prediction here? Sounds like a close one.
It does. The sources frame it as basically a 50-50 fight, a real toss-up, but maybe a slight lean towards Arman Tsarukyan by decision, like a late rounds grind kind of fight, a proper war.
War indeed. Okay, and that sets up the ultimate fight, doesn't it? The one that's all about legacy. Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev. Potentially double champ versus pound for pound #1. Wow.
Yeah, this is the kind of fight fans dream about. Islam. Well, what can you say? Suffocating top control, unbelievable fight IQ. He's always so calm. Once he gets a hold of you, it's usually bad news.
But Ilia's a lightweight champ now. He's not the smaller guy anymore. He's shown he can handle strength, pace, wrestlers. Is there anything in his recent wins that suggests he could maybe disrupt Islam's game, maybe threaten him in a way others haven't?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Ilia has definitely improved his composure, his counter-grappling. It's all gotten better. But Islam, his fight IQ is just off the charts. He rarely gives openings. And it's not just that he's an elite grappler. It's how he does it. He flows from striking defense right into takedowns, into control.
Seamless transitions.
Exactly. He can turn like a tiny defensive slip from Ilia into a position Ilia just can't escape from. He neutralizes weapons the second it hits the mat.
So the common thought is Ilia has to catch him early with that power. But if Islam gets that takedown, what makes it so bad for Ilia? Is it just being held down?
It's more than that. Islam doesn't just hold. He advances position, he postures up, he lands ground and pound, he makes you carry his weight, he just drains you.
Total control.
Total control, and it shuts down all offense. Ilia could find himself stuck, completely neutralized, like so many others have against Islam. That control, the ground and pound, it's probably the biggest danger for anyone, even a double champ like Ilia.
Okay, so the ultimate challenge. What's the predicted outcome based on the analysis?
It leans towards Islam Makhachev, either by decision or potentially a submission later on. His grappling depth and that fight IQ, it's just seen as potentially being too much.
Right, so let's just quickly recap the predictions based on this deep dive, if we put it all together.
Okay. For Paddy Pimblett, the prediction is Ilia Topuria wins, KO, probably round 1.
Right. For Arman Tsarukyan, much tougher. Arman Tsarukyan winning by decision after a real war.
And for the biggest one, Islam Makhachev. The prediction points to Islam Makhachev winning, likely by decision or submission.
Ilia Topuria achieving double champ status. It's already historic. It's an incredible accomplishment. Really shifts how we view his potential legacy. But staying at the top, as we've just laid out, means facing these absolute killers at lightweight. Guys like Arman and Islam. They are genuinely capable of dragging him into that deep water, testing every single part of his game.
Yeah, those are the legacy-defining challenges, Paddy. Well, that fight feels different. More like just business,
Right, exactly. It's amazing how fast Ilia has risen. And if we ever get that Ilia versus Islam fight, wow, that could be one of the greatest stylistic clashes we've ever seen in MMA. That power and striking versus that suffocating control and intelligence.
The storylines, the skills, it's perfect.
It really is. So after breaking all that down, the big question for you listening is, who do you think can actually dethrone the double champ, Ilia Topuria? Something to think about.